There's a few other planets I haven't spoke of that impact everything on a world scale, from global wars, religious or civil, to the rise and fall of dictatorships and, of course, government corruption. There's no way any of this is going to go away overnight. Those born in cardinal signs, Aries, Cancers, Libra, and Capricorns, are getting hit with some very hard facts of late. Also, those born with Mars in any of these signs are as well. And, of course, if you have a stellium in any of those signs, again, you get the double whammy. It's not so much about what sign you're born under, it's more about where you find these signs in your horoscope and if you have any of the planets in them. Besides all that, let's get down to the real big picture. Those other planets that I was speaking about are major players today as they all line up in an exact square in opposition by degree, at 13 degrees to be exact. Now, there is some slight benefit or light at the tunnel, if you want to look at it that way, with a wonderful water trine between Jupiter and Saturn and Venus and Neptune, but that hardly grazes the temples of Uranus, Pluto, Mars, and Jupiter's conflicts. Now, that's all astrological jargon to you, but I will get around to explaining what I mean. Neptune, kind of think of him as the hippie of the zodiac, and Neptune just got a bag of weed in Colorado, so he's not too concerned about getting back to reality, man, because he's got too much baggage. At least not for some time, okay? So we can kind of forget about Neptune really helping out, other than maybe meditating and hoping this will all just go away and heal itself, which is not bad. It's not bad. Neptune conjoining Venus right now is not only a wonderful meditational aspect, but a nice little getaway island for those needing meds and money. Combined, they also keep you entertained with the most worldly rear ends, tabloids, celebrity divorces, in order to distract humanity from the earth being pulled out beneath them everywhere. And of course, no matter where women live, they need to be helped by a system that pretends to save them from their dramas by taking the little red pill. Moving on to our next planet, Jupiter, is that social prayer we all send out, the optimist in us that gets us out of bed every morning and says, thank God I'm alive. It therefore rules all religions and man-made faiths. Not necessarily the truth, but more so the concept of truth, based upon the design, structure, or philosophy, or what you believe it's built. It's also our drive for social integration and desire to achieve goals that sometimes exceed our expectations. So, be it the traveler, the beneficent, or a worldly scholar, if we don't get there by plane, train, or boat, we find it in books, or perhaps the internet. It therefore rules all forms of journalism, philosophy, and higher learning. Jupiter right now happens to be up against some stiff competition, however, as Uranus, the voice of freedom, who only urges Jupiter to keep going, is on a collision course with a spy. The spy-happy underworld figure by the name of Pluto. Pluto, plain and simple, can be your most detestable psychologist, your own worst enemy, or can work to expose what needs to be revealed when in a good mood, kind of like the Columbo of the zodiac, and when in a bad mood, the NSA. Pluto right now is in a stressful combination with Uranus, and it can be rather psychopathic and sociopathic, castrating anything and everyone simply for the fun of it. Of course, this usually happens when the energies are so set on having their own way, they can't find a way to meet and compromise. Of course, Mars is helping this to become even more detrimental, because Mars is doing Pluto's dirty work by poisoning the well. This is not only interpersonal and transpersonal, it's getting real personal. The world scales are being tipped, be it banking, information, environmental, or on the home front. It all boils down to land. Will it take a supervolcano to pull the plug on politics, or will it be from the hands of maniacs running the globe? Pluto's like the neighbor who carries out secret mission, and Uranus is the alarm that goes off every time Pluto buries another body. The problem is, Pluto has been storing up so much evidence for so many years, he's got a case on everyone. And Uranus at this time, along with Mars and a few lawyers, is demanding everything be brought out in the open. That's what this aspect is about. Exposing the truth. Setting you free. What's that old saying? Oh yeah, the truth shall set you free. Amen. It's easier to speak of these planetary influences as archetypal players in the area of events because, okay, he carried out the mission, yada yada yada. Okay, so that's what this aspect's all about. Push has come to shove. Think of it as a volcano ready to erupt, or in simpler terms, shit hitting the fan. Pick any area of life you want right now, and you can see it. It's easier to speak of these planetary influences as archetypal players in the arena of events because then you gain an understanding of their motives based upon their myths. Myths, however, always seem to have the same endings and eerily reflect humanity's conditions and histories. Mythology teaches the battles between the gods of the heavens, all of which usually involved some form of castration. So I'm not looking forward to it, are you? Jupiter right now wants not to be castrated, but is having a tough time keeping peace in the heavens when so much corruption is happening on a world scale. And as I said, we also have another player in the works by the name of Mars, and Mars, of course, was a warrior. Mars loved war. Pluto was the undertaker, and quite a thief. So when we combine these two energies, we have a thief, a devil, wielding a hand of power and manipulating a war. Mars was ignorant, not as evolved as the bigger gods, and you only needed to entertain his appetites for aggression, and you had it. Therefore, it made him both ruthless and yet an accomplished warrior for whomever needed him in battle. Pick your war, pick your battle. Everywhere you look, there is a land grab. Land grabs are Plutonian. Pluto, in Capricorn, is a corrupt politician, banker, and system. Uranus in Aries is freedom, and it can get pretty rebellious in Aries because Aries is ruled by Mars, and it's difficult to tell who Mars is in bed with right now. But it does appear Mars, insert your leader here, is ruthlessly picking a fight. Fighting a battle he can't win. Mars is in Libra right now, and playing both sides against the middle. Any way he can get a war started, he will, and he's cutting deals with that old devil, Pluto. However, he's up against a greater collective revolutionary energy of Uranus. That's no match. That's just insanity.